Okay, this just in. The February issue of Aoife's Kiss has my short story, Love's Clothing, in it. You can find it at Genre Mall. I'll have the link down below. What I'll do is I'll read the beginning, like the first page of the story, and then if you're interested, you can pick it up at Genre Mall. I hope you enjoy it, and for those of you that I'm sending copies to, hopefully I'll be sending them out next week. There are a few things I want to do first. And I apologize ahead of time for my Spanish pronunciation. It sounded better in my head, and I'm not very good at my Spanish, which I have to take care of one of these days, I know. Anyway, so here we go. Love's Clothing by Rachel Olivier. The pages crackled in her hands. Something dark spilled across the leaves of skin. Karen's sensitive nose picked up the old scent of blood, but couldn't tell if it belonged to the poor creature whose skin made up the book, or to the dark smear across the pages. It would take Jorge and forensics to discover that, and then clean the pages up so the contents could be scanned and transcribed into the computer. Then the book could be safely stored back in the vaults where she had found it. Karen reveled in the feel of the old pages and ink, even knowing those pages had once been the hide of some long-dead creature. The knowledge and magic played at her fingertips. The enchantment of a bound book in her hands coursed through her veins. She was so close to the end of her search, she felt it in the singing of her bones. First, she had to get this to Jorge. Sighing, she put her latex gloves back on to prevent further damage to the old tome and to keep the magic charges from tempting her to do more than just peruse the pages. Karen worked best in the early hours before everyone else arrived with their hollow, annoying hellos, making nice behind plastic smiles. It was safest then. No one to catch her unawares or ambush her with human societal needs and rituals. "Good morning!" Karen jumped and cringed at Tracy's shrill voice. "Hard again at work, I see. Boy, you sure put in the hours." Tracy's grin reminded Karen of pictures she'd seen of chimpanzees. In the animal kingdom, a smile was a threat. Karen put on her best smile, hoping her canines showed to advantage. Not that Tracy would get the joke. "Good morning, Tracy." Karen mentally placed a bloody blot over the eye in place of Tracy's habitual heart. Tracy's smile wavered as her eyes inadvertently glanced at the white streak in Karen's dark red hair. Saw the threat in Karen's own silver-colored eyes. The moment stretched. Then Tracy's cell phone trilled. "Hello? What? The reception here is crap." Karen watched Tracy continue down the hallway on another one of her incessant phone calls. Karen stomped on to Jorge's lab. Her time was better spent in the vault, cataloging and updating the books. Karen took a deep breath, counting to 10 and remembering her mother's warm hazel eyes and the time she had reminded her that it was people like Tracy who were protected by the biblioteca's research. "It's hard, I know, mija." Karen's mom's smile already showed lines around her mouth and eyes. Some of us have to be the gatekeepers, the protectors, the guardians, so the others who are clueless can carry on with life. We are the ones who ensure that others have a fair chance at a safe road and a happy life. Entienda? But that doesn't give us an excuse to think better of ourselves. She had been right, of course. A rare smile lit Karen's face, remembering her mother. Her mother would have understood the significance of this book, and Jorge would too. Karen and Jorge had grown up in this basement facility far below the downtown Los Angeles Public Library, reading fairy tales far grimmer than grim, more real than gangbangers. They'd played hide and seek in these vaults. This was their place. Her own blood had been spilled here. Her parents had been slaughtered in these very halls, and it was here that Jorge had saved her life. Karen slammed the tome down next to Jorge's cup of hot coffee, watching as the cup teetered on the desk before writing itself, then stood back to wait. "Hey, Red, what's up? The chupacabra?" The young man sitting in the lab winked at Karen before letting his eyes rest lovingly on Karen's face for only a moment. "Maybe, if we can clean it up." Jorge donned a pair of latex gloves and picked up the book, giving Karen a wide smile that reached to his warm brown eyes. "I'll start with an analysis of the materials, then see about cleaning it up again to read and scan." Karen smiled her second real smile of the day before retreating back down to her own office. Knowing Jorge made up for the Tracys of the world. Breathing deep, she hugged herself, reveling in her feeling of rightness in this one place in the world. The Bibliotheca Scientia Arcanis, Library of Secret Knowledge, had been residing on this spot for thousands of years. Long before the 44 pobladores had marched in to claim Los Angeles as El Pueblo de Nuestra Señora Reina de Los Angeles sobre el Rio Porciuncula, or the town of Our Lady Queen of the Angels on the Porciuncula River, there had been beings living here quietly gathering the secret knowledge of the world. Long before even the Tongva and the Chumash tribes had traded here 1,000 years ago, there had been those who had hidden in caves, carved into storage vaults for relics, scrolls, ossuaries, guarding anything else that provided knowledge against the deep dark things of the earth. There was a reason the downtown division of the Los Angeles Public Library, one of the largest publicly funded library systems in the world, had been built atop those vaults. A reason that the library was located at the end of Hope Street, or beginning, depending on how one looked at it. And if that didn't turn you off too much, you can find the rest of it at Genre Mall. Okay, great. Thank you and have a great day. Bye.